much publicized police violence in New York with the kettling, is what they call it in the UK, the herding of these women into small groups, some of them being pepper sprayed by Officer Anthony and Tony Bologna, and the Brooklyn Bridge, and something. Well, actually, I'd say it's something a little different, but it involved pepper spray. Happened here in Washington, D.C. over the weekend, and Dennis Trainor was there. And Dennis, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Tom. Thanks for having me on.
You are an organizer of the October 2011. That's the Freedom Square group, as opposed to the McPherson Square group, I guess. Right?
Yes, correct. We began our occupation here in Freedom Plaza on October 6th, which was the eve of the beginning of the second decade of the invasion and occupation of Afghanistan. We want to address our grievances to the government, specifically to bring all troops home and redirect those resources towards human and environmental needs.
Right. So, you were host of the video series Acronym, served as a writer and media consultant for Dennis Kucinich's 2008 presidential campaign, and your documentary on U.S. foreign policy is called Manifest Destiny's Child. It was released in January this year. So, to get the intro stuff out of the way, Dennis, what happened on Saturday?
Saturday, we marched to the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum, specifically to do a banner drop and a mass die-in under a drone exhibit there. We didn't think that museums should be fetishizing weapons of mass destruction like drones. The march turned out to be much larger than we expected. We had about 1,000 people or more. People were joining us from the streets. There's been almost universal embracing of our movement here in D.C. We got to the museum. As we were coming up the stairs, the security guards rushed out of the first doors as some of us were entering into the vestibule. The security guards physically pushed the first line of us back, which those of us trained in nonviolence are trained to handle and trained to de-escalate situations like that.
Right, you do that by basically what? Just sitting down or doing what you're told, basically?
Sitting down or doing what we're told. Our objective was not to shut down the Air and Space Museum. Our objective was to demonstrate to the public there and open a dialogue about what exactly we are looking at up in the museum.
Right, but there was a guy by the name of Patrick Howley in your crowd who had a different agenda, it seems.
He had a different agenda, and he actually, I believe, got into the past the security, but next to him, and there's a photograph of this on the Daily Kos accounting of this that I saw, was a gentleman by the name of Hamzai, who we've identified, or who goes by the name of Hamzai. We've identified he was with us in Freedom Plaza for several days. He was right in front of me. When he was pushed back, he reacted he redoubled the force. He grabbed the security guard by the shoulders, physically pushed him back, and that is when the pepper spray came out. So I got hit with pepper spray, and about 20 other people were affected by pepper spray as well. So I'm not sure. If that person was working with the writer or just happened to be in close proximity, but they were together. The writer wasn't the inciter of violence. The other gentleman was, this gentleman going by the name of Hamzai. We've isolated him here in the plaza and made it clear that he's not welcome, and we are a nonviolent, peaceful resistance movement.
So who is this Patrick Howley who was standing next to him and who has, and tell us who he is and what he's been bragging about?
Well, from what I can tell, he's a right-wing editor of a right-wing blog, and he specifically set out not to pursue his own agenda, but to undermine ours. So I'm having a lot of discussions with people like Patrick. One of the issues that we disagree on is health care. Patrick would like to see people, one of the 50 million people who don't have health care in this country, like to give them the complete works of Ayn Rand, a shotgun, and a pat on the back. We want to give people health care. So Patrick's agenda, which he is bragging about, unbelievably, is to incite violence in order to undermine what we're doing.
Wow, and that's what happened on Saturday.
That's what happened on Saturday. Like I said, the gentleman who I suspect was working with Patrick, although there's really no way for me to confirm that, but they were close together. They're pictured together. Right. Physically instigated violence. Last night he was going around the plaza telling people, as our permit was running out, that if the police entered, that we should violently resist. So he is actively in our plaza trying to recruit people. Luckily for us, we have laid the groundwork, and the type of people that we've attracted here understand and are committed to nonviolent resistance.
Wow. I've told this story before, but what the hell? I was in SDS in the 60s, and there was always a couple of crazies at every meeting, particularly the public meetings, where we'd get together outside the student union at MSU or whatever. And there was this one guy who was always saying, we got to burn down the building, we got to kill the pigs, we got to, whatever. I mean, he was always using very violent rhetoric and arguing in favor of very, very confrontational methods. And we all just thought he was crazy. Although there was a splinter that ended up going in his direction and became the Weather Underground. Not specifically because of him or whatever, but when I think it was Brad Lang, it was one of the SDS guys, sued the Michigan State Police Department to get the Red Squad files to find out, what was going on. This was like a decade later. We discovered that guy was a police officer.
Yeah, and I asked this gentleman last night when he was in the plaza, we're trying to recruit people with violence, point blank. He was a police officer. I think there was once a day where if you asked someone that question in an activist meeting, they had to. I'll be honest with you, I don't think that's so true anymore. He denied it.
They don't have to.
I don't know if he's just a hothead Tea Party activist or if he's embedded. But the thing is, we know that we're going to be infiltrated. I'm standing in the plaza now. There are 700 or 800 people, and I know that a certain number of them are infiltrators. So we have to just act with a certain amount of transparency. Otherwise, we're going to fester paranoia. We all trust each other.
Sure.
There are certain elements of nonviolent civil resistance that we'll have to plan with a little bit of secrecy, but 99% of what we do is completely transparent. We have nothing to hide. We're willing to risk arrest and get arrested and come back again and again and again and again, hold this plaza to address our grievances to the broken representative democracy. And
also, would you not agree that there will be some people who absolutely share your values and your perspectives, and yet believe that to bringing down the machine or confronting the machine in a way that demonstrates the violence of the machine is necessary? I mean, that was the rhetoric that I heard from the people who became the Weather Underground back in the day. And they were, so not only do you have the infiltrators that you have to deal with, but you also have people on your own side who, because of the way they were brought up or how they think or whatever, they think that, fighting back, fight fire with fire is the way to do it.
Well, it's an interesting argument, and you can approach it on a moral level or on a strategic level. Morally, I would say that if you want to live in a free and open society that's free of violence, you should begin to live your life as if you live in a free and open society that's free of violence. Strategically, however, we've seen what happened in New York. People were pepper sprayed, people were kettled, no one reacted with violence, and that draws sympathy to your side. Yep. Nonviolent confrontations with police where people are only trying to find their voice is just going to grow their numbers. So New York is exploding right now, primarily because they have been able to maintain a nonviolent stance.
Yep. Dennis, we have about 20 seconds left. You guys getting ready for the winter?
We're getting ready for the winter. We're not going anywhere. We're not going, and Congress is back in session tomorrow after the holiday, and they can expect to hear from us.
Okay. All right. Good luck, Dennis. October2011.org is the website, and then, of course, there's OccupyWallStreet.org, and there's a bunch of others as well. Dennis, good work. Keep it up. Say hi to everybody there for me, would you?